Hello guys, how are you today? So today I'll be explaining the 4.1 course practice IGCSE quiz, okay? And let's start with the first question. The equation of the tangent to the curve y is equal to 6x squared minus 2x minus 3 at some point A is y is equal to ax plus b, where a and b are constants to be determined. The tangent is parallel to the line y is equal to 10x minus 3. What is the value of b? Now here, the only thing we need to focus on is the keywords. First of all, we have tangent to the curve. The curve C, its equation is given by 6x squared minus 2x minus 3. This is our curve. And they told us that the equation of the tangent to the curve, so we're going to call it ET, equation of the tangent is equal to y is equal to ax plus b. And we know that it is parallel. All of this, we are taking it from what? From the question, okay? It is parallel to the line y is equal to 10x minus 3. What does it mean parallel? Parallel means that the slope is the same, okay? So if the slope is the same, in this equation, the slope is 10. That means in this equation over here, the slope A is gonna be 10. And directly, we found the value of the slope. Now the next step is that we need to find some points, okay? Because they need us to find what? The value of b. We found a to be 10. Now we just need to find the value of b. طيب, how can we find b if we are still missing y and x? To find y and x, or x and y, we need to solve some equations. First thing, you know that to find the slope of an equation of a curve, okay, using the tangent, we have to find its derivative, okay? To find its derivative, I believe everyone knows how to do the derivative. So let's say we have 6x squared minus 2x minus 3. To find the derivative, you're going to look at x. Its power is 2, so it's going to become 2 times 6. 2 times 6 is 12, so it's going to be 12. And then x is going to be 2 minus 1, which is 1. So 12x. Minus 2x to the power of 1. 1 times minus 2 is minus 2. x1 minus 1 is going to be x0, and anything to the power of 0 is 1, or there is no need to put it. Now minus 3 does not have an x, so definitely we are not going to put it. Okay, so now the equation to find the slope is 12x minus 2. طيب, we have the slope. The slope is what? The slope is 10. So what we're going to do is we're going to take this equation, the derivative, which is 12x minus 2. We're going to make it equal to 10. Okay, then the next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna solve it. So we're gonna move this to the other side. You get 12x is equal to 12. So then x is equal to 1. And like that, we found the value of x. We still need to find the value of y. Very simply, to find the value of y, what we are gonna do is we're gonna substitute it in this equation. Substitute what? Substitute 1, okay, which is our x. So y is equal to 6 times 1 squared minus 2 times 1 minus 3. Put it on your calculator. And you will get an answer of 1. So our y is also 1. So we have the points to be 1 and 1. So now we can very simply find the value of b, knowing that we have y is 1 is equal to the slope, which is 10, times our x, which is 1, plus b. Move this to the other side. You get that b is equal to 1 minus 10. So b is equal to minus 9. So very simply, our value of b is minus 9. Okay, so we move on to question number 2. They told us the equation of the tangent to the curve C, y equals 4x squared minus 3x at 1, 1 is y is equal to ax plus b, where a and b are constants to be determined. What is the value of b? Okay, very simply, let us write what's given. We have our curve. Its equation is 4x squared minus 3x, okay? We have the points, so there's no need to find the points. We have the points given to be 1, 1. they gave us the equation of the line. So ET, or equation of the tangent, which is equation of the line, is equal to y is equal to a x plus b. We know that anything next to x is the slope, so a is our slope. And b, we need to find it. It's gonna be, b is actually the y-intercept when x is equal to 0. So first of all, they did not give us any information. How do we find the slope? To find the slope, we said we're gonna take the derivative. So the derivative is gonna be, first of all, it's 4x squared minus 3x. So it's 2 times 4, which is 8. So 8x minus, here this is 1, 3. Okay, but it is equal, not to 0, equal to what? This is equal to the slope. So this equation is the determinant of the slope or the derivative, because we know that the derivative, you find its equation, it's gonna give you the value of the slope. Now, we know that the points are 1, 1, so our x is 1, the y is also 1. So we're gonna take an x as 1 and we're gonna substitute it here. So it becomes 8 times 1 minus 3 is equal to 5. So we have the value of our slope to be 5. So y is equal to 5x plus b. We know what? We know that y is 1 and x is 1. So 1 is equal to 5 times 1 plus b. Move this to the other side. We get that b is equal to minus 4. So the value of b in this case is minus 4. Okay, so we move on to question number 3. What is the slope of the tangent to the curve y is equal to 3x to the power of 4 plus 11x minus 1 at the point of intersection with the y-axis? Point of intersection with the y-axis, or y-intercept, is when x is equal to 0. That means so far we have one value, which is that x is equal to 0. So to find the slope, anytime they give you slope or gradient, we know that we need to look for derivative. So if this is the curve equation, we need the equation of the slope. To find the equation of the slope is very simply to find the derivative. So to find the derivative, I think we know how to do it now. So 3x4 plus 11x minus 1. Okay, it's gonna become 12x to the power of 3 plus 11. Okay, so this is the equation of the slope. All right, and we know that x is equal to 0. So right now, the only thing we're gonna do is substitute x by 0. So we will get an answer of what? Is that 12 times 0 to the power of 3 plus 11 is equal to, we don't know, this is our slope. Okay, so 0 plus 11 is equal to slope. So slope is equal to 11. And very simply, the answer over here is 11. So we move on to the next question, which is question number 4. We have the curve that represents the graph of y is equal to x squared minus 2x minus 8 crosses the x-axis at 2 points, okay? One of the points is positive, the other is negative. They need us to find the slope of the tangent where the curve crosses the x-axis at the point with the negative abscissa. Okay, so first thing they told us that we pay attention to, or that I paid attention to, is that the curve crosses the x-axis, meaning it has the x-intercept. And when we are saying x-intercept, that means y is equal to 0. Okay? All right, now we have the value of y that it is equal to 0. They told us it crosses the x-axis at 2 points. That means there are gonna be 2 points or 2 x's. 2 x's, I don't know. This is just how I write it, okay? One point has a positive abscissa, the other has a negative abscissa. They said, what's the slope? Again, to find the slope, we have to find the derivative of the negative abscissa. So before we find the derivative, of course you can find the derivative first, but before, in my opinion, what we should do is we should find the points. To find the points, very simply, you're gonna substitute y with 0, so 0 is equal to x squared minus 2x minus 8, and then you solve it. For the people that have a calculator that allows them to use the mode, then 5, then 3, please do use it, okay? For the people that don't, you just have to like apply the product sum rule. Okay, so what gives you a product of -8 and a sum of -2? It is definitely -4 times 2 and -4 plus 2. Okay, so this is then x minus 4. Please pay attention. Do not put the answers as -4 and 2. It's actually x minus 4 times x plus 2. So x is equal to +4 and x is equal to -2. So the positive is going to be +4 and the negative is going to be -2. For the people that can use mode 5-3, if you put it mode 5-3 on your calculator, you're first going to put 1, then -2, then -8 on your calculator, and you're gonna get that x is 4 and -2. Now that you have the 2 points, okay, you know that the negative abscissa is -2, okay, and they need the slope of the tangent when the curve crosses the x-axis at the negative abscissa. So first, now before we do that, we're gonna find the derivative. So it's gonna be 2x minus 2. I did it really mentally. I hope you guys will be able to do it mentally. Just take this, find the derivative. It's gonna be 2x minus 2. Okay, and now what you're gonna do is you're gonna substitute -2. So now it becomes 2 times -2 minus 2. So -4 minus 2, which will give us an answer of -6. And this is what this is. I cannot find it. The slope. Okay, and very simply, we found the slope to be -6. So now we move on to the next question, which is question number 5. What is the gradient? Gradient again means slope, and whenever we're dealing with slope or gradient, we need to find the derivative, okay, of y is equal to 2x minus 1 times x plus 7 over 3 at x is equal to -1. Now, this one is a little tricky because it's a fraction, and we haven't really done or dealt with fractions before. So I'm gonna explain something new, which is the product rule. The product rule states that, okay, this is first of all a binomial. You have two binomials, so over here and over here. You are gonna find what? It can like not necessarily be binomials, but whatever it is, okay? You're gonna find its derivative, okay? After finding its derivative, you are gonna multiply each one with its opposite. So yani, okay, here, finding its derivative, it's gonna be 2. Finding this one, its derivative, it's gonna be 1. So now, I'm gonna multiply by this derivative, and I'm gonna multiply this by this derivative. So it becomes 2x minus 1, okay, times 1, okay? And then x plus 7 times 2. If you put it all together, it's gonna be 2x minus 1 plus 2x plus 14. Okay? I forgot the plus over here. Don't forget this. So basically what you're gonna do is you're gonna multiply each one by the opposite derivative, and you're gonna add the answers together, and you're gonna get 4x plus 13 over the denominator is 3. And they told us that x is how much? X is -1. So it becomes 4 times -1 plus 13 over 3. Okay? So it's then equal to 9 over 3, which gives us an answer of 3. So the answer over here is 3. Now, this is the first way of doing it. Or there's another way. I think the other way is like more based on what we have studied, okay? So the other way is that you just multiply these two together, okay? You make them back to how they were usually. So you're gonna get 2x squared plus 13x minus 7. This is after solving, of course, okay? Now what you're gonna do is you're gonna find the derivative of the numerator and not the denominator, so only the numerator. You will get 4x plus 13 over what? Over 3. So this is another easier way to do it. And then substitute x by -1, so -4 plus 13 over 3. So then we get 9 over 3, which is again, what? An answer of 3. So we move on to question number 6. They told us, what is the gradient of y is equal to -2x times minus 3x squared minus 4x at x is equal to minus 1. Now guys, I'll tell you something. Before ever doing the derivative, you have to solve everything. Oh my goodness, I dropped my pen. So before doing anything, you have to before doing the derivative, you have to multiply, you have to add whatever you do before doing the derivative, okay? So in this case, let's multiply. We will get an answer of 6x to the power of 3, okay, plus 8x squared. Okay, now we find the derivative. So to find the derivative, it's gonna be 18x to the power of 2 plus 16x, okay? Now we're gonna replace x by minus 1. First of all, why we found derivative? Because they are asking for the gradient. So whenever they ask for gradient, we find the derivative, okay? So always before finding the derivative, you solve everything. So now we got 18x squared plus 16x substituted by minus 1. So 18 minus 1 squared plus 16 minus 1. We get 18 because minus 1 squared is 1. So 18 times 1 is 18 minus 16, which will give us an answer of 2. Very simply. We move on to the next question, which is question number 7. Remember, as we said, they're asking for gradient, so we need to find the derivative. Now, always before we find the derivative, we need to solve everything. We need to complete solving everything. Okay, so what we are gonna do is we are gonna solve everything before finding the derivative. So, first thing is that we can separate them into two different fractions. So it becomes 6x to the power of 4 over 3x to the power of 2 plus 24x to the power of 3 over 3x to the power of 2. Then we can divide. So this becomes 2x to the power of 2 plus 8x. Yeah, 2x to the power of 2 plus 8x. Now that we have it in simplest form, we have to find the derivative. So let us find the derivative. Finding the derivative, you are gonna get 4x plus 8, okay? And now we have x is 3, so we substitute instead of x 3. So 4 times 3 plus 8, so 12 plus 8, and this will give us a slope or gradient of 20. And that is pretty much it. Moving on to question number 8. Again, same thing over here. You need to solve everything before finding the gradient. Okay? But here, actually, as you can see, is that they're already in their simplest form. There's nothing we can do unless we make a common denominator. Okay, so there's actually two ways to solve this, okay? So I'm just gonna start with the first way, which is the longer way, which is to make the common denominator. So you're gonna get 4x to the power of 6 over 12 minus 9x to the power of 8 over 12. Okay, and then of course you are gonna find the derivative from this point, which is gonna be 24x to the power of 5 over 12 minus 72x to the power of 7 over 12. And then when you divide, you are gonna get 2x to the power of 5 minus 6x to the power of 7. Now this is one way to do it, which is a really long way. Okay, now I believe that the first way would be really unnecessary, but the second way is to just find the derivative directly. So it's gonna be 6x to the power of 5 over 3 minus 24x to the power of 7 over 4, and then directly you're gonna get 2x to the power of 5 minus 6x to the power of 7. Then of course you're gonna substitute minus 1. When you substitute minus 1, you get minus 2 plus 6, so you will get a gradient or a slope of 4. So this is an exceptional case, okay, because it's already in simplest form. You directly find the derivatives, then you divide, okay, or you can make them a common denominator. You can do whatever you want as long as you get what minus 2, no, first it was 2x to the power of 5 minus 6x to the power of 7, okay? And then you have to substitute minus 1 and you should get an answer of 4. So we move on to question number 9. What is the gradient of this at x is equal to 4? So it's in simplest form. We just need to find the derivative, okay? So very simply, to find the derivative, it becomes 4 plus 6x. Now, if x is equal to 4, you're just going to place it here. So 4 plus 6 times 4, which is 4 plus 24, which is 28. So the gradient, which is the slope, is then 28. We move on to question number 10. Again, they want us to find the gradient of this equation. So we need to find what the derivative. So to find the derivative, it's going to be 12x to the power of 3 plus 4x, okay, minus 4. Then we substitute minus 1. So it's going to be 12 times minus 1 plus 4 times minus 1 minus 4. You can put it on your calculator. And you will get an answer of, also don't forget to put it to the power of 3, okay, minus 20. So our answer is minus 20. Okay, so minus 20. We move on to question number 11. Again, they need us to find this gradient over here. To find this gradient over here, we just find what the derivative, as long as it is in simplest form. So it becomes 12x to the power of 2. When x is minus 2, so 12 times minus 2 squared, which then becomes 12 times 4, which is then 48. So the gradient at this point is then 48. We move on to question number 12. Again, what's the gradient at this point? You have to find what the derivative, okay? To find the derivative, it is gonna be 12x to the power of 11, and they said x is 1. So it's gonna be 12 times 1 to the power of 11, which is 12. So very simply, for question number 12, the answer is 12, which is very funny. I think probably the regional had this on purpose. So for question number 12, the answer is 12. Moving on to question number 13. This is an important question. A curve is drawn in the diagram below along with two tangents. They said, which of the following statements is true? Select the two correct options. Okay, also, sorry, do not pay attention to my time. It's because I keep on coming and going. So, which of the following statements is true? We have two correct options. Let's look at the graph. The gradient of the curve at x is equal to minus 2 is equal to the gradient of the curve at x is equal to 2. So let us see. Here, we have that x is equal to minus 2. It's doing an intersection with the curve. So as you can see, this is our curve over here. And these two lines have an intersection here at x being minus 2 and an intersection here at x being 2. So they said that the gradient is the same for both. So to do that, let us find the gradients at these two slopes or these two lines. So very simply, what we can do is we can just take 2 points, let's say these 2 points, and let us find the slope. First of all, this point is at an x of minus 1 and a y of 2. And this is at an x of minus 2 and a y of minus 1. So the slope for this over here is very simply going to be y minus y over x minus x. So let's say it's going to be 2 minus minus 1 over minus 1 minus minus 2. So that's then going to be 3 over 1. So then the gradient is 3. Now for this one over here, we'll take this point over here, which is an x of 1, a y of 0, and here an x of 2 and a y of 3. So if you're going to do it, it's going to be 3 minus 0 over 2 minus 1, which is 3 over 1, which is 3. So they both have the same gradients. That means definitely it's equal. They're both equal. And we said that the curve is equal to 3. So very simply, we have found the two correct options. Now we move on to question number 14. They said, refer to the diagram below where the tangent to the curve at the point of abscissa 2 is drawn. They said, what is the gradient of the curve at the point of abscissa 2. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna take this point over here, which is the tangent, okay? It's formed at abscissa 2, so they need us to find the gradient. So very simply what we're gonna do is, again, we're gonna take any 2 points. So let's say this point over here and this point over here. So this point over here is gonna be an x of 1 and a y of 4. And this point over here is gonna be an x of 2 and a y of 0. So very simply, it's gonna be 4 minus 0 over 1 minus 2, which is 4 over minus 1, which is minus 4. So don't forget the minus 4 is the answer. So our answer is minus 4. We move on to question number 15. In the diagram below, a curve is drawn along with its tangents at A and B. What is the gradient of the curve at A? What a question this is. You're just gonna take the curve at A, you're gonna take any 2 points, and you are gonna find the gradient. So let's take any 2 points. Let's take this point over here, which is an x of 0 yet a y of minus 3, and here it is an x of minus 4 and a y of 3. So if you put it y minus y over x minus x, it's gonna be 3 minus 3 over minus 4 minus 0. So it's gonna be 6 over minus 4. In simplest form, it is 3 over minus 2, okay? Or another way to write it is minus 3 over 2. Now we move on to question number 16, which is the last question. Now, given the curve C with equation y is equal to x to the power of 3 plus 4x to the power of 2 plus 10, fill in the blanks. The equation of the tangent to the curve C at point x is equal to 2. Okay, so the equation of the tangent to the curve C at x is equal to 2. Very simply, they need the equation. We know that any equation of a tangent is y is equal to ax plus b. A is what? A is the slope. So to find the slope, we just need to find the derivative. So first find the derivative. You're going to get 3x, okay, to the power of 2 plus 8x. And now you substitute 2, so it's going to be 3 times 2 squared, which is 12 plus 8 times 2, which is 16, and 12 plus 16 is 28. So we have the value of A, which is then 28. Now to find the value of B, we need to find the values of y and x. We know x is 2. So to find the value of y, we are going to put it over here. So x is 2. The value of y is then going to be 2 to the power of 3 plus 4 times 2 to the power of 2 plus 10 if you put it on your calculator. You will get an answer of 34. So 2 and 34. Now we can find the value of b. 34 is y is equal to a. A we said it's 28 times 2 plus b. So 34 is equal to 56 plus b. Move this to the other side. B is then equal to 22. So we have the slope being 28 and b being 22. Okay, so let us submit and hopefully we do not have any mistakes. And thank God we don't have any mistakes. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed and have a wonderful day.